Hey there, explorers. Welcome to Curious Sparks, the show where we dive into the coolest, most exciting topics that you love, like monster trucks and yeah, even Barbie dolls. Yep, it's all here. So here's how it works. Each episode is like a mini adventure. We uncover fun stories, discover amazing facts, and honestly, just explore together. And, well, I'm your guide on this wild ride. You can call me Max Velocity. But wait, did you know? Curious Sparks is all about you. That's right. Every time you tune in, you're helping me on this journey of discovery. Isn't it cool to think of yourself as part of this adventure? So, ready to ignite that curiosity and dive in? Let's go. No holding back.
All right, imagine a T-Rex stomping around in your backyard. Scary, right? But what if I told you that some of its closest modern relatives are birds? Yep, it's true. That sparrow outside your window? It's kinda, like a distant cousin of the mighty theropods. So, let's break this down. Scientists have been digging up fossils that show dinosaurs weren't just giant lizards. They were way more like birds. Take their bones, for example. The skeletons of dinosaurs like velociraptors have hollow bones, just like today's birds. How cool is that? And that's not all. Some fossil discoveries have tiny imprints of feathers preserved in stone. Feathered dinosaurs. It's like nature was designing prehistoric prototypes of parrots and pigeons, but instead of chirping, they were probably roaring. Or, squawking in a very intimidating way. Speaking of modern birds, have you ever seen an ostrich up close? It's these big, goofy creatures with long legs. But if you squint, okay, maybe a lot. They look like they're straight out of the Jurassic period. Ostriches and emus are descendants of the same family tree that gave us theropods, the group that includes velociraptors and T-Rexes. Basically, they're like the closest thing we've got to a dinosaur roommate. I remember visiting this super fun interactive bird exhibit once. Walking through a space filled with brightly colored birds swooping around, it felt like stepping into a mini Jurassic Park. But, way less dangerous. I started imagining these quirky birds as playful, scaled-down dinosaurs, like little prehistoric ambassadors. Honestly, picturing a feathery T-Rex is kinda awesome, right? Okay, so let's dig deeper into this whole feathers on dinosaurs thing. When we think of dinosaurs, it's easy to imagine them covered in tough, scaly skin, right? But guess what? Scientists have discovered something totally mind-blowing. Turns out, many dinosaurs weren't just scaly, they were also feathered. Like, picture a velociraptor. In the movies, it's this sleek, scaly predator, but in real life? Probably had feathers. Yeah, feathers. How do we even know that? Well, fossils aren't just bones. Sometimes they include these super delicate imprints, like little shadows in the rock. It's like nature pressed the pause button and said, hey, future scientists, here's a sneak peek. And with modern imaging technology, kind of like dinosaur X-rays, we can see details like textures and even hints of feather patterns. Isn't that amazing? Now here's where it gets even cooler. Scientists believe some of those feathers weren't just for flying. Oh no, these dinos might have used them to show off, like prehistoric peacocks. Imagine a dinosaur with feathers that shimmered in the sunlight, like the flashiest costume ever. I always wonder, what would your favorite dinosaur look like with feathers? Would a T-Rex rock rainbow-colored feathers? Or maybe a Stegosaurus with bright polka dots? Seriously, think about it. So fun, right? And it's not just about looking cool. These feathers give us clues about how dinosaurs survived. Some probably used feathers to stay warm, like puffy jackets for the Cretaceous winters. Others might have used them to blend in, kinda like ancient camouflage. The possibilities are endless. Oh, and if you're wondering how we know about their colors, it's thanks to these teeny tiny pigment structures found in the feathers. They help scientists piece together what colors these creatures might have had, like fiery oranges, dark blacks, even iridescent greens like modern hummingbirds. Just imagine walking through a forest full of shimmering, feathered dinos. Wild, right? All right, let's dive into the big question. Could we actually bring dinosaurs back? It sounds like something straight out of Jurassic Park, right? Well, let me tell you, the idea isn't completely science fiction, but it's, also not exactly science fact. Yet. So here's the deal. To clone a dinosaur, we'd need to start with DNA, basically the blueprint for life. But dinosaur DNA is super old, like over 65 million years old. And DNA doesn't, stay fresh. It breaks down over time, so finding a complete, usable sample is almost impossible. It's a little like trying to build a puzzle when most of the pieces are gone. But scientists aren't giving up. They're exploring all sorts of clever ways to fill in those missing DNA gaps. One idea is to look at animals alive today that are close relatives of dinosaurs, like birds. Think about it. By studying bird DNA, researchers could potentially reverse engineer certain traits, kind of like creating a dino-inspired remix of an emu or a chicken. Imagine Dinosaurs 2.0 right in your backyard. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Even if we could piece together dinosaur DNA, we'd still need an egg big enough to develop it. Then there's the whole ethical question, should we? What happens if, say, a cloned T-Rex decides to call your neighborhood its new hunting ground? Not exactly the world's best roommate. But let's just dream for a second. Imagine waking up as a dinosaur. You'd stomp through jungles, snacking on giant plants. Or okay, maybe other dinos if you're a meat eater. You'd tower over everything, with the wind ruffling your feathers, roaring at the top of your lungs. Seriously, how cool would flying feel if you were, say, a pterosaur? Or picture dodging meteors like a prehistoric superhero. Wild, right? At the end of the day, though, dinosaurs still live on. In birds, in fossils, and in the stories we tell. Whether or not cloning ever happens, studying dinosaurs helps us understand the incredible history of life on Earth. And honestly, that's pretty awesome all by itself. So, what do you think? Would you want to see dinosaurs walk the Earth again? Or does a feathered dino bird roaming the sky sound wild enough for now? Either way, one thing's for sure. The past, present, and future of dinosaurs are all kinds of fascinating. And that's all for today on Curious Sparks. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time for another awesome adventure. Until then, stay curious, explorers.